In the span of one lifetime, it's possible for someone to have been born in Coal Creek, grow up in Lake City, and die in Rocky Top without ever having moved. A decade ago, this small city that sits in both Anderson and Campbell counties changed its name for the second time, all in the hopes of seeing the town flourish.
You can't take 10 steps in Coal Creek without running into an historic site because all these events happen in that one area.
Coal Creek, Tennessee was established as a coal mining town in the early 19th century. In 1891, the owners of the mine forced out the paid workers and replaced them with convict laborers. The former employees pushed back by repeatedly attacking the mines where they once worked. These events led to what would be known as the Coal Creek War. The Tennessee State Militia was brought in to quell the situation, and in August of 1892, most of that fighting had ceased.
During the Coal Creek War, when the miners went to war with the state of Tennessee over the use of convict labor, the miners lost the final battle, but they won the war when the state abolished convict leasing. The solution to convict leasing developed by the state was to appropriate money to build Brushy Mountain State Prison.
A mere decade after the Coal Creek War, tragedy struck the town once again. On May 19, 1902, an explosion in the Fraterville mine caused it to collapse.
Where over 200 men and boys died in an explosion. Some of them wrote farewell messages. Said, "Oh God, for one more breath. Ellen, remember me as long as you live. Goodbye, darling." For the first time, people in the United States could put a name to a coal miner.
A monument was erected in Leach Cemetery, engraved with the names of all 184 miners who were identified. The Coal Creek name endured until 1939.
It was changed in the late 30s from Coal Creek to Lake City for a reason, and it was to bring revenue into a struggling community.
1936 brought about the creation of Norris Lake. Driving through the town of Coal Creek was one of the only ways to get to this new attraction. Thus, Coal Creek's name was changed to Lake City, in the hopes of getting travelers to stop and spend a spell in the town on their way to the lake. The eventual construction of I-75 meant that drivers would no longer have to pass through Lake City. And in 2013, town leaders planned another name change. This time, the hope was to rename the town something that all orange-blooded Tennesseans would recognize: Rocky Top.
The first phase of this is going to be what we call the Rocky Top Pavilion. Live entertainment. There'll be indoor-outdoor water park, a restaurant that will seat 500 people, Sports Museum Hall of Fame, and a sports complex.
There were promises of a massive new theme park, only if Lake City changed its name to Rocky Top. This proposal brought debate among those in the community.
I look at Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, Dollywood. They didn't change their name. Why should we have to change ours?
Everybody that's got a business here realizes that Lake City needs something, and for 35 years since I've been here, everybody's always said Lake City needs something, and now we have it. We have the opportunity.
It would all come down to a vote from the city council.
The key thing on our change to make this work is what the investors ask us, if we would be interested in them coming and us changing our name. So that's why we want the public opinion tonight and explain why.
The vote was unanimous. Lake City was no more. In its stead was Rocky Top, Tennessee.
It's a proud day to be a Rocky Top citizen. I just want to put this, maybe frame it, put it up as a keepsake, you know, and maybe I can show my grandkids someday that I was there when it happened.
Soon after the name change was official, merchandise started popping up.
This is a destination. The actual city is named Rocky Top, Tennessee. So everything that we make will be named Rocky Top, Tennessee. I think it's awesome that they went to an East Tennessee company to help them establish this whole deal. And I think it's going to be a huge success.
Anderson County Commissioner Tim Isbell swiftly filed dozens of trademark applications for everything from Rocky Top themed beer to flip-flops. But this venture was just as swiftly put in jeopardy. House of Bryant owned the rights to the song Rocky Top and sued.
Anyone could, with impunity, infringe our marks and anyone else who has marks in Tennessee involving Rocky Top, and that for us is not a good thing.
If it's a geographic location, then you may not have to get into all of the copyright issue or trademark.
That's correct.
Is that right?
Isbell believed they weren't infringing on anything.
I know that sometimes you've heard some legislators and some other people talk about why not name it Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola's product.
Rocky Top is a place.
And we believe in rendering unto Caesar what is Caesar, and anything that they have the legal trademark to. And if they'll give us a license agreement to sell it, we'll make sure that they get paid.
A federal judge stepped in and put a halt to any merchandising profits. After 2 years of litigation, House of Bryan allowed the town of Rocky Top to use the name for non-commercial use.
We fought the case and we entered into negotiations and reached an agreement where they would drop their challenge of Rocky Top changing its name, and Rocky Top would agree not to produce any type of merchandise that would infringe on their trademarks, which the city never intended to do in the first place. So it was a great resolution for the taxpayers.
Eventually, the developers of the theme park pulled out, and although the town took a big hit, businesses slowly started adopting the Rocky Top name.
They no longer have to worry about whether they're going to have to change their name or do anything like that, and they're just going forward promoting the town of Rocky Top and enjoying life up there.
Despite its rocky start, there were still high hopes for the town's future.
As far as changing the name, I think it's been a positive thing ever since day one, even through the litigation.
It gives it a buzz about it. I think that name change, I mean, I still get people that come through town and I see them out in the parking lot and I'm like, what are they doing? They're taking a picture of City Hall because of the name change.
We needed to boost, and everybody knows Rocky Top.
So this is the town, and as you can see, we're right on Main Street here. And down Main Street, there's not a lot going on.
Today, the town of Rocky Top, Tennessee is still without a resort or a theme park, but it still retains that certain small town feel.
Like being able to pull into town, park in a parking lot and walk throughout town, go into a boutique, go into a coffee shop.
And residents still see the potential of what the town once known as Coal Creek can become.
A small building with a very big idea of bringing Rocky Top back alive. It's the whole vision, is to bring the town back.